All right. Hey everyone, I'm here with Prithvi, who landed an internship at Fannie Mae. So yeah, super pumped to have you here.
Yep, yep, nice to be here.
Yeah. Okay, so before we kind of get into the program, could you just give everyone a little bit of a background about yourself? Kind of
Yeah,
like what year you're in and what you're studying and what kind of roles you were aiming for.
yeah, my name's Prithvi. I'm a second year here at UVA, studying computer science and statistics. This year was primarily recruiting for software engineering roles, and that's pretty broad. So AI roles, ML roles, backend roles, so a pretty broad area of things.
Hmm.
And yeah, the recruiting process is almost done, but had a good successful recruiting process, I would say.
Okay, cool. So kind of before you joined Landed, like how would you say your recruiting process was like?
Yeah, before it landed, I would say my recruiting process, this is technically my first real big recruiting season. So going into recruiting, I was honestly a little bit blind. Didn't understand how furloughs worked. My resume probably was not as good as it could have been. And just the little tricks and tips that Landon just told me, I wasn't aware of at the time. So a lot of my applications were kind of not being seen or going straight to the trash pile. But after landed, I think as with a lot of the cohort meetings and resume reviews and mock interviews, I think my success rate went up a good amount.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is great to hear. How did you kind of find Landed? What kind of like drew you in?
Actually, got through, found out about landed through just LinkedIn. I was just
Hmm.
scrolling on LinkedIn. I think I had some mutual connections with some of the founders, so their post showed up on my feed, and then it looked interesting because as someone that was recruiting, being having the opportunity to be mentored by people who've like been through the process and know what they're talking about, seemed really appealing to me. So it was like an instant click of like,
Yeah, okay, dope. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit more specifically about what you kind of got out of Landed. So we'll kind of start with, I guess, like resume review. Is there like anything specific you felt there that like, really helped to get more like callbacks?
yeah, I my resume actually after the resume review, I kind of like tore it down and like built it from the bottom up again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like the way you word certain things you've done in the past. There's ways to like really help it stand out compared to before. I learned about ATS scanning and pretty much like optimized my resume with that.
Dope.
And
Hmm.
as well as just to review my resume, I think we had the opportunity, like everyone else's resumes were coming up, and just looking at how other people have done theirs really helped me kind of create my own resume.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. How about like networking? Did you use any of like the networking tools we kind of gave, or how about
Uh,
that?
Networking is probably what I have to work on from now. I do have like the blueprint for what I have to do for networking, but I did not use networking as much as I did like the other parts of
Okay.
the program.
Okay. Totally fine. And for like interviews, did you feel like you got like kind of support with like behaviorals, technicals, both? What about that section?
Yeah, in the mock interviews, Yash mock interviewed me for Fannie Mae, and actually like one or two of the questions that he asked, which I wasn't prepared for initially, were asked on the interview. So
Awesome.
it was very helpful, I would say. That was
Mhm.
probably of all of landed, probably that mock interview is probably what I would take away the most.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I guess kind of last question for you is, would you kind of recommend Landed for any other underclassmen, who's kind of looking for help in the recruiting process?
Yeah, I think for sure that Reddit would help. It's just like it's a really good way to kind of understand what the recruiting process is like and how to approach it. It can seem pretty daunting, like there's hundreds of applications coming out, hundreds of do job postings, and just having like the learning the tips and tricks as well as having practice and kind of gaining experience in recruiting before you actually get into it and the stakes matter really helps. So I would say for any underclassmen looking to pretty much figure out how to navigate the recruiting cycle is very beneficial.
Okay. Yeah, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story,
Of course.
and congrats again on your offer, and I hope you enjoy your summer at Fannie Mae.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Okay.